Welcome to the 2013 interview with Ram Dass. We're here on Maui to interview our beloved brother, our 5th year, and the Bhakti Fest family welcomes you and thanks you so much for allowing us into your home. And
Namaste.
yes, and thank you, and here we go. Let's get right into it.
Okay.
I just recently had a scare with some skin stuff, cancer, and turned out to be okay, but a lot of stuff came up for me of how ill-prepared I personally am on the whole dying process.
Well, here we are. Remember, we are two beings in one body. We're the ego, and who we think we are, and we're the soul. The soul doesn't have anxiety about dying. The soul has been dying and borning, and they don't just another
Right.
one. And then the ego, which the ego is part of the incarnation, and so it's going to go, oh my God, the incarnation is going to stop, but I'm stopping. That's where the fear comes up.
What do you think are the most important spiritual tools for everyday life?
I think that you get up in bed and you think of or sing to something spiritual. That's to the day.
I mean, a daily practice.
That daily practice.
Sadhana.
I never, but my sadhana for the rest of the day is just keeping Maharaji. He's like a friend that goes with me everything I do. He's here now. I know his presence, and I talk to him in my imagination.
So you use that, I use him as a reference point.
Yeah, because he's loving, he has compassion, he has peace, he has joy.
It's sort of like a baseline.
Yeah, and wisdom. Those 5 things, any way you can get them. Read holy books, because there's these 5.
Be in right association.
What?
Be in right association.
Yes.
Spend time with people of like mind, which is very, very crucial in this world.
I think the satsang or sangha is key.
Correct.
It's key.
Definitely.
I really do.
Yeah. And if you can't be in satsang, be by yourself.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's far that I get calls from. They say there's no satsang in my environment.
Right.
So we then change your environment or change something. And he must see that satsang isn't absent. I see it his like I can George Bush on my puja table.
Right.
I see his soul. There's compassion for that soul, taking a lousy incarnation.
Well, also, you know, the thought about spiritual aspirants. They're usually so aloof.
What?
Spiritual aspirants, and when you get around a lot of the satsang, people are so aloof at times. Do you think that they're just not dealing with their issues and are hiding behind the spiritual label?
Yeah, that's personality stuff. And don't get involved in their personality stuff. Maybe you'll get something that here they'll be talking, or they'll point you something or other. And so don't get caught in their personality, because their personality is coming out of their ego.
Right. Which you experience a lot when you go to India and spend time at ashrams around the gurus. You see a lot of that personality egos coming out of the devotees.
But that's the guru stirring the pot.
Right.
Because the environment, the pure environment, forces that out, that stuff out, forces it. Yeah.
So what are some of the effective ways to deal with anger and other negative emotions, such as jealousy, for example?
They are the mind. They're always in the mind. And they have to be dealt with the soul, the witness. You witness. You see, I'm angry. God, he's angry. And the witness keeps you not in the waves of anger or jealousy.
Getting caught in the waves.
Most people are identified with their thoughts. Thought of jealousy, thought of, God damn, I'm jealous. Oh, that guy. And for that moment, the world is just full of that thought.
Right.
And the thought is coloring the person's, it's physically taking its toll on your
stomach,
and your
heart,
yeah.
closed down.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you witness the thought, boy, that is jealousy.
So that's a tool.
Yes.
We're talking about a tool to go into effect at that moment that you're feeling anger or jealousy.
Yeah.
You take a step back,
yes,
breathe, and be a witness to what you're looking at.
And the same thing, a loving awareness doesn't get angry.
Go tell that to the person who's in a fit of rage at that very moment.
No, this is something to you.
For you, when you're doing it.
Yeah.
When you're feeling that emotion.
No, never do it to another.
They have to do it to themselves.
Yes.
So we were talking about this before, about changing somebody else.
Don't change anybody else.
Right.
Don't change anybody else.
That should be the whole topic of this conversation. We can't change anybody else.
And you're going to, and all of your stuff of them,
Right.
that's what you got to change.
In yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and start with your mind and just watch your mind, which you can be done in meditation. It can be done just by identifying with this.
Even if you spend only 5 minutes a day in meditation, it's a beginning.
Yeah.
To start off someplace like that.
That's recognizing there are other planes of consciousness than we're caught in one.
Do you use those same tools for forgiveness? Or would you think, what would be the most effective ways to forgive ourselves and to forgive others? That's a big thing that we're all dealing with, is this whole issue about forgiveness. Forgiveness of our family, forgiveness of our loved ones.
It's again the same thing. It's caught in your mind. If you're capable of seeing other people as soul, you've got a good thing, because you don't forgive soul. You know, it's down in here that you do. It's still mind stuff.
Because souls are already in the space of forgiveness.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So if you're staying in that space of the soul, you don't need to forgive, because
that's right.
You already met each other at that point.
That's
right.
Yeah, made each other in love.
Right. I noticed that sometimes we need a little aid or a little boost. And some people find through psychedelics that little boost opens up a little bit of the stuckness. And sometimes I feel that with my own self as well.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden my heart bursts wide open and I'm saying, wow, look how stuck you are, but you just needed a little, little push.
Boost.
Yeah.
I think the little boost is fine. I think Alan Watts, if you take the phone and get the message, put the phone down. That's what I think of as psychedelic.
Right. In other words, you don't have to be attached to that aspect as well.
No.
Get the message, leave it till the next round.
Yeah. And I think one of the things in spiritual work is attachment to your method.
Right.
You don't sing, I sing,
Right.
That kind of business.
And other people being attached to their method.
Yeah.
And looking at you differently because you're not attached to what they consider to be the method.
I let other people alone. I say, fine, you're fine. If you have a guru, that's fine.
Right.
Even though I know that guru has crap, I'd say fine. Because they're in you. They're in you. And then you go and you see that compassion or that joy, you're not getting it from somewhere else. In you. In you.
So what would be the best way to distinguish between the voice of the ego and the voice of the inner self? There's always a sort of like a dynamic there.
Well, the ego is primarily concerned with the physical environment, body and stuff like that. Food, taxes, all that thing. Funny thing that the ego is under the control from the higher self. This is far out there. Your soul rules your body, rules your whole life.
Dominates every day.
Dominates, yeah. And dominates the ego. So when you say, I am loving awareness, that awareness is the awareness. The awareness hears, the ears, sees with the mouth, the eyes, and that awareness is just, it's like me, and then the soul and the Atman and all that, it's wisdom for your life. The wisdom, so many incarnations.
So do we need more rascality in our lives?
I love rascals. I don't like scoundrels.
Right.
And I do like rascals.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. Are you still spiritual, even if you don't definitely live by the book? I mean, what does that all look like? You have to live a certain way to be a spiritual aspirant? And
that's all crap.
Right. But most people don't get that crap.
No.
Right.
There's no routine. You can get up in the morning and...
there's no form.
There's no form. But yet, if you identify with your soul, and that is, there is God, Guru, and Self in this, in you, in your soul.
Wouldn't that be a form of form?
No. All you have to do is go in to your insides. No form externally.
It's formless.
It's formless.
At that point.
Yeah. Just
So, what's so bad about a little self-pride?
as long as you keep that little.
What's bad about it is when it gets big.
Yeah, yeah. But
Little
it's
self-pride is okay.
Little self-pride,
Yeah.
but a big one. Then it's the ego, and the ego's going in herself.
Taking control.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ego taking control of the self.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
What?
If the soul is a pure state, the ego cannot take control of that. It could try, but the soul is so strong in its totality that the ego really can't break through there if you're dwelling in the soul.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the key thing that they dwell in the soul.
Right.
If they, yeah, dwell in the soul.
So we're surrounded by nature all the time. What do we learn from nature? What could we grasp from the beautifulness of the gardens and the flowers and the beautiful trees and the air and the ocean? So much to give to us, but we take it for granted most of the time.
They're teachers for me. Like these trees, they don't go around, I am a tree, but they revel in their being. They be, and they're part of the whole business, part of the one. And if a tree they're beings. They're beings. Beings. They talk to one another through leaves, but not talk. Yeah.
So look at nature as a big soul.
As the big soul.
The universal soul.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We forget about all these things. I mean, we're talking about these issues. We talk about them every year. We come back to certain points that are all the time. Basically, human beings just keep on forgetting or not addressing. We get up every day and we're caught in our everyday life.
Yeah.
We got to go here, we got to go here, we have to do this, we got to do that, on and on and on. We don't even look at nature anymore. We just walk by nature.
With nature, you experience nature. You don't look at nature. You experience it. They're part of the one. They're part of the one. Nature is a teaching.
We look at nature as a teaching like we look at everything else as a teaching.
Their nature is a pure teaching.
Right.
Pure teaching.
Everything else might or might not be a pure teaching.
Yeah.
Depending on how much of how we identify with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't identify with nature because it's in its purest form.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's good. So that gets back to where the point about schools. What should schools teach about spiritual ideals to our children?
There are a number of experiments through the Steiner schools,
Waldorf
school, and there are in public schools now, and it would be good if they witness from here their thoughts or actions.
Should they have more time for like meditative process in the school system?
They're doing that. that is in elementary school. That's,
But it's a fine line between some sort of a religion aspect to it, because right away people would think yoga or chanting or meditation has a religious connotation to it.
well, I don't think you chant Ram Ram.
No, but meditation would be very important for these kids.
Meditation for calming,
Yes, instead of all the medication,
yeah.
go to meditation.
It's good meditation.
Are all religions just a bunch of superstitions? Because we're getting overloaded with this religion stuff. So much, that's all you read about and you think and you hear about religion here, religion there, and
Well, it's different because of our karma. And they're all souls. They're all wanting to God. I mean, these religions and methods are up the mountain.
they're vehicles.
They're vehicles.
Right.
Like Maharaji is a doorway to God. And I don't worship the man. I worship the God within him, the Atman.
But we still bow down to the lotus feet of the man,
Yeah,
or woman.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right. He's reached the plane of consciousness.
Where he has merged into the
Like
God.
the center, the soul. When I'm just soul, soul, and I look around and I see the love, and I love everybody. And then the next plane of consciousness, something like Maharaji, he is love, not, he's B's love, I only see love. See
That's a
love
big
because
difference.
I'm an individual. I'm an individual. But the soul at the point of this, I only see love, and he can be love.
But if we stay in that thought pattern of only being an individual, isn't that a limiting place for us to dwell in instead of being merging with the absolute, or trying to merge with the absolute?
But that like in death, the soul, well, I've got two theories now. Your soul goes all the incarnations. He's picking up data. And this is, he is the one. He's made up of the stuff of the one. And then when he gets to the end of incarnations, he goes into the one. He becomes the one.
At the end. Why do we have to wait till the end?
Because why do you go to school?
That's my point. Why can't we just merge right now?
Well, very complicated.
I know.
But a soul is split off from the total. The soul is the same as, and then the soul takes these incarnations not a training thing. They're getting, it's like God is getting itself purified. And these souls all around.
So we're purifying, in this incarnation, we're purifying our soul.
Yes. Yes. That's with the individuality and the pushing around.
So how can we constantly think of God when we're dealing with so much everyday crap, so to speak?
That's what those we think of the crap, then we witness the trap, then you go into the witness, into the soul, which it's God, primarily. It's just a part of God.
So God is dwelling in our souls.
Yeah.
And if you really want to find God, you just have to go deeper into your soul.
That's right.
So what do you think the best formula is to be happy?
Be in your soul. As be your large self. And stay in love about everything. And don't get too involved in minutia of life.
How can we hope to be able to live in peace and be like the dream of happily ever after?
Well, I went to a peace rally. And everybody was, we want peace. And it didn't seem the whole business was peaceful.
Right.
So when I realized I have a peace in myself and everybody else does, and that we could pluck out that peace and radiate it. Just the peace we have in ourselves. And that would bring about the world. It's the individual can change the world.
By staying in the peace and the love inside.
That's all they need to do.
And not identifying with the outside form.
Like I was at a seminar. The whole seminar was peaceful and peaceful. I'm trying to. One said, this girl, I'm terribly bothered by the Middle East, and what do you do about that? And I said, well, you're just bothered. You're just you've caught the fear that everybody in the country has.
It's a fear-based. Like right now, it's North Korea sending missiles over to land
Sure.
on Maui.
Sure. Probably be one or the other.
Honolulu, right? How do we decide what is truly love, or it's just a desire in me for that love, or for the... I find when I'm laying down next to another human being, my heart is totally open to the embrace of love, much more easily than being alone.
You're loving somebody out there, and you love God in her. You don't love the body and you don't love the personality. You love the light and the love in her.
So you're merging with their soul.
Yeah, soul and soul.
Right.
Yeah.
Merging together.
Yeah.
And the love just...
And that is
explodes.
Perfect love.
Right.
Perfect love. Then you're just only with God.
That's right. That's beautiful. Now, to be able to do that all day long, whether you're with somebody or not. You know, I've been practicing yoga and meditation for 40 years. I still get angry. So, should you send me out to the field like an old goat?
You just have to disassociate from that anger. Because you get angry and then this, I'm angry. And then, boy, is he angry. Boy, is he angry. And that's the witness is the way into the heart, because with the soul, because you can witness, turn around and go into the witness. It's like your flashlight. The flashlight doesn't zoom, but can't light itself. But then very funny, where the flashlight can, you know, and go in deeper and deeper and deeper.
I notice when we get angry and we go to the witness place, there's still this churning going on, and you can just say, okay, boss, I turn my face away. I don't want to get caught up in that, right? But there's still that residue, that stomach stuff, that tenseness, that adrenaline shooting through your body.
That's the mind. That's the mind. Because the mind, if out of the mind, that would be that if you're going to be mad and the adrenaline, I'd have to let it let it play out. You witness it and let it play out.
But you're still going on. If you're letting it play out, you're still buying into it. Even though you're witnessing it and you know that you're watching it and you're watching it play out, you're still part of that playing out. Couldn't that lead to some delicateness of results?
Not
Actions and results?
not the body stuff after where you're and then it'll get he would he is angry. He's angry. It'll be a long process of witnessing.
Are we really spending that much time each and every time we get angry? Having to deal with that long process? And when does it become shorter?
You can get karma. That's the.
It keeps coming back to the karma situation.
And I have found that karma and grace are the same thing. Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that just a little bit? It's an interesting place.
That our lives are graceful. Our lives, that our lives are stepping stones to God. Even our anger.
So our lives are graceful to start off with, and our life is always graceful all the way through.
That's right. That's right.
And somehow karma and grace interplay.
They don't interplay, they both. Yeah, it's karma. It's grace.
So maybe they get to play with each other.
I'd leave it as grace because you've gotten a terrible situation and something there was learning something. Not learning for the ego, but learning for the soul.
Why do you think human beings are so cruel?
Fear.
Of what?
At the extreme end, they are fearing of death.
And in the middle, they're fearing losing something?
Yeah, they're losing their power.
So you think most people are power tripping pretty much in their everyday life?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
So can a person really be evil in that true sense of how it's looked at through like Christianity, good and evil? Are we good or evil? The nature of human beings, could that be? That's what we're taught from the beginning through the various religious texts about good and evil. Is it Can a person really be just be born
No,
evil and be
no.
there like that?
Now, take Hitler, for example. That soul got lousy karma, and he tried to bring all of his karma to the end. This, you know, but he had lousy karma, killing people and all sorts of things. And you think of him, the soul. His behavior is not. You don't put it. Now, the behavior. See, a person can't be evil, but his behavior can be evil.
Or his circumstances that they're caught up in. Let's say politics, for example. These heads of government are caught up in the political situation,
Yeah.
which might create them to be evil in certain circumstances. But they weren't inherently born evil.
Yeah, they can do evil things
For the sake of a
for the sake of a value,
doctrine, purpose, value.
but that would be the mind. That would be the mind. When I decide that I can walk and I can't walk, I can fantasize on my mind, beautiful, and I can't walk. What can I do about that? Now, look at Obama. He said his speeches before he sounded very like a soul.
Right.
Very like a soul. Then he got into the government. He represented ego.
The country is an ego, or the country is made up of egos?
No, it's ego.
Just a concept.
Yeah. He represented that ego. And all the people around him saw that he was tough and he had.
There's clearly a place where he could act in reference to what's right and what's wrong. Clearly, right and wrong are obvious. And yet, governments and the political institutions act according to corporate mentality.
Yeah. Those men, those things.
Why are we just giving up our power so easily to these people? Medical marijuana, the Monsanto. I mean, there's a list of stuff that's a mile long that's right. It's not wrong. Palestine, it should be a state. I mean, it's clear. We're just also suppressing everybody, just like all the other countries, all dominated by money and greed. And we're still not changing, we're still not doing anything about it. And we're just going along our everyday life and saying, okay. I think the young people are not rallying, they're not stepping up. I think, remember in the 60s, in the 70s, we went out on the streets. We said something, we spoke up, we weren't afraid.
See, in one hand to say, this is what the soul wants. this cleaning where, you know, cleaning of our motives and stuff like that. Or I suggest it's not bad enough.
It's not bad enough?
Not bad enough.
Yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be.
Oh boy.
Right.
Boy.
Just the tip of the iceberg. We keep on going down instead of going up. So we talk about love in the soul. It's a small, little, tiny space. Love and soul and the individuals that are diving into that aspect.
If you radiate love and peace, you are doing the best you can. That is the message you want for the young people.
But does it really matter after everything is said and done? What really matters?
If you want to project, if people were loving and in pure consciousness, I would predict that we are not going to, nobody's going to have nations, money differentiations between. If you can imagine that pure space, when, you know, that, but it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine. For the individual, you become your soul, which you live in the spiritual realms. And you live your life spiritually. That's the best you can do on earth. And then I think would be dying. You be done with this incarnation.
But we're coming back to deal with it again sometime.
Not this.
Not in this body, but in this itself, this earth plane.
But you don't say that they get it. Anger and is now, because that's what this
Incarnation is.
Is incarnation.
But aren't you taking this stuff with you on the next round also?
Yeah.
Because you didn't work it all out on this go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're coming back and we're dealing with the same crap that we are dealing with now. It's just in a different form and a different environment. The earth hasn't changed in 100,000 years. People haven't changed. You get a good soul every once in a while that steps up. But you can count those good souls.
Well, it's not. I think the differentiation is what's personality things go and what stays. I mean, your consciousness and your love and all these things. No, I think your personality, this is a big argument in the literature. I don't think your personality is. I don't think that purity and purity has love in it, has compassion, a peace, has joy.
So those aspects
Those
goes along.
Yeah.
And some of the karma.
Huh?
And some of the past karma that you still have to work through. Because I know that
Yeah.
in my life personally, I'm working out my karma in this lifetime, hopefully, and
Yeah,
I'm also
yeah.
associating with past lives and
Yeah.
saying, what the fuck, how did I get into this?
Yep,
Right.
yep, yep. But I was, yeah. So there, our karma came along in future lives.
So how do we choose happiness? And every moment when something faces us, how do we really go toward the happiness? Besides the soul, besides the loving awareness, those are good exercises and important. But when we're faced with happiness or unhappiness, we're just dragged into the unhappiness most of the time.
I think contentment. Contentment.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Be content in whatever comes your way,
Yeah.
no matter what.
No matter what. That's all.
Right.
That's the seed of the happiness.
Right.
Yeah.
And through your practice, you expand on that seed.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it blows up to hell, content.
So be it. Right. Just come back to the self,
Yeah,
because that's all that you have to work with anyhow.
yeah. And you look inside,
Right.
and the outside is going to be change.
All the time.
It's going to be not the weather,
Do you have a regular spiritual practice, or just being in the now is your spiritual practice?
hanging out with Maharaji in my imagination. That's what I do.
What spiritual books, for example, are on your nightstand? What do you like to look at, even if it's a page or here or two?
Well, I'm looking at near-death experiences. They're pretty good.
Is that to get yourself ready?
Maybe. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I'm concentrating on death. What happens after that? It's a practice. And I think I shall time will come when I will say, all right, now I'm ready. But then, like I lay down a nap, and I'm straight, and I said, this is my funeral. And these people came by, all my friends and colleagues and spiritual people. And I was up there. And I thought, oh, she's really loving me. And he's really making a big show of it. I could see their soul. I could see their soul. And I said, well, I got up and they got up and tucked me out of bed. Because nobody, I can't.
You're fortunate in preparing for the death cycle. What about our friends that have an accident? Like we just lost one of our dear brothers, DASS, to an accident in the middle of the night, just like that. He wasn't prepared for death at that moment, or was he?
He's prepared for death in his own way. He was Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Right.
And he just went towards Krishna.
Right.
He was so into Krishna, and he was so thinking of Krishna, and he Krishna.
Right.
And Krishna will come.
So at that moment, you have the names, the Harinam, you have the names of God, whatever they are, on your lips.
Yeah.
Like Gandhi, when he was shot, he was always doing the mantra.
Yeah.
Ram, Ram,
Yeah.
Ram, Ram.
That's why you can do that.
So that would be the best preparation.
Yeah.
When your mind is not wandering, be in the japa, be in the mantra.
Holy jam, what the...
Right.
Oh, and that car, oh, jeez. Ram.
Right.
Ram.
Right. So the breath and the mantra
Yeah.
are very important as a constant practice
Yeah.
throughout your day to keep you in that sweet, scented place.
And I think it's not mantra. When you're meditating, I mean mantra when you have ups and downs and things. Yeah.
Japa.
Yeah. Yeah. When I give a song, souls, if I go into a store, I see somebody caught in roles, a role of customer and role of clerk. And I look at them carefully. You know, they come out now and then, their souls. You know? And now to see how they got caught in their role. That's what we can got. We are caught in our roles. So transfer roles, souls. Give up roles, Cling on to soul.
Give up roles. Cling on to soul.
Yeah. And then you don't give up roles. You start. You don't. You do them.
Doesn't mean anything.
You do. They're the melodrama.
Yeah. Because the melodrama is going to exist whether we identify with it or not.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to still be there.
Yep.
It's up to us not to dive in every time it faces us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you think is your most important thing you now know after these 80, 83, 84 years? You have a birthday coming up this weekend.
Yep.
And
I think it's going to be the 82. 82.
you're still going back a year?
No. Last year was 81.
And yeah, what do you think is the most important thing? Or things? If you can put it in a capsule.
Contentment.
Contentment in everyday life with whatever,
Contentment in
whatever it
every
is.
life.
You obviously must be content because you've been sitting in that wheelchair for 15 years.
Yeah.
That brings you, that forces you into a certain level of contentment.
I love it. I love the stroke because I give up my sports car, golf, cello, that's
Right.
all given up. They were past.
Right.
Now I don't compare with the past. I'm here, and I'm here, and I'm here, and I'm here. And I'm so much, like the soul is so many things the soul learned from the incarnations. He can't get upset about dying. Like I can't be upset about my dying or my aging. Now, the thing that the body is 60, 82, but I am infinite, and I don't want to be that. The birthday is not my birthday.
It's your body's birthday.
Body's birthday.
So of course we've been around forever.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So besides contentment, which is a very important aspect, what else?
Well, this one is the wisdom that comes from experiences. My experiences in past lives. I've got a lot of knowledge.
Does that make us think that we know something more than somebody else?
That makes us think that would be a trap.
Right.
That'd be a trap.
So then why write books or why do interviews or anything like that?
I think that sharing information is a pretty high game.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
It's important that other people have these questions and doubts and fears, and it's good to be able to listen to.
Or they have information,
Yeah.
and there shares information.
Right. So we're sharing information with each other.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you're 82 or 40 or 60 or 10 or 5 or 12 or
Yeah.
whatever. It's in there.
It's in there.
It's in there.
It's in there, yeah. The only thing is that it's in there for kids, when that comes to the surface, people treat them specially. They treat them pianist or something, that because they can do anything with it. That's all.
Ram Dass. Thank you so much.
We
Thank
did.
you so
We
much.
did.
It's beautiful.
You thank you so
Thank
much.
you. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a give and take, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful. And I love being with you and sharing these times. And the Bhakti Fest family loves to hear from you every year. This is our 5th year together.
How many?
5th year.
5.
5, yeah. Our 5th time we've been here. And every time people are saying, when are we going to get more? And I say, well, I'm going over there now. And
That was fun.
they can watch it all on our website. Every year is up on our website now, so they can dive right in. And we really appreciate you having us here, and the Bhakti Fest family honors you and loves you and supports the work you're doing, and thank you so much, really. Thank you so much.
I'm them.
They are you and you are them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a great honor. You know, we've known each other 43 years now, you and me. 43 years. We've been friends. And I want to thank you for that long, long, long time together. It means a lot. You know, and everybody has ups and downs with each other, but we come back to the love.
We do.
And that's the most important thing.
We do.
Come back to
We
the
do.
love.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. Okay.